bald humanoid with glowing green eyes perched on a branch. It jumped down and looked at him, then sprinted away at high speed. The terrified witness rushed to tell his dad, who was inside the church. His dad did not believe him. Not of this world. 8 truly weird extraterrestrial encounters by Preston Dennett. Humanoid encounters go to the very heart of the UFO phenomenon. The numbers of cases like these are staggering. The accounts are incredibly consistent, which argues strongly for their veracity. Not to mention that there are so many accounts supported by multiple witnesses and various forms of evidence. Most interesting, perhaps, are the elements of high strangeness, some of which are rarely reported or even totally unique. This video presents 8 particularly unusual and weird cases of people who have encountered humanoids face to face. The aliens and the white wolf. One day around January 1939, 2 lumberjacks were in the frozen forests near Lake Abitibi in Quebec, Canada, when a white wolf approached them. Suddenly, several short bald humanoids appeared. One walked up to the wolf and began to speak in a foreign language. The wolf attacked and killed the little being. The others collected the remains and disappeared into the forest. Following the tracks, the men came upon a large circle of melted snow. We come on a peaceful mission. On the night of October 10, 1957, 2 men drove near the small town of Quebracoco, Brazil, when they drove up to a massive flying saucer hovering above the road ahead of them. As their truck stalled and stopped, a door opened in the craft and several little men with blonde hair stared down at them from the opening. One of the men got a strong telepathic message before the craft darted away. The aliens and the gas storage tank. Throughout September and October of 1973, numerous witnesses repeatedly saw a UFO hovering over a very large gas storage tank located on Macaulay Road in Melbourne, Australia. The object returned at the same time for 3 nights in a row and then returned periodically over the next year. During this time, one of the witnesses in the area had a startling bedroom encounter with tall bald humanoids. Encounter with a non-humanoid. On August 22, 1977, an anonymous Spanish count drove on a mountain road in Mallorca, Spain, and accidentally ran over what he believes was a living creature of some kind. The creature was very short and had the appearance somewhat like a bowling. The witness was consumed with guilt and returned to the site several times, but could find no evidence of the creature. This was not his first paranormal encounter. Something not of this world. One evening in 1979, a young boy was outside a church next to a cemetery in Clearville, Pennsylvania. Hearing a noise in a spruce tree, he looked up and saw a tall, bald humanoid with glowing green eyes perched on a branch. It jumped down and looked at him, then sprinted away at high speed. The terrified witness rushed to tell his dad, who was inside the church. His dad did not believe him, but the boy remains convinced to this day that he saw an alien creature. Let's visit hospital for handicapped children. On the night of July 18, 1980, a group of nurses at the High Herlands Hospital for handicapped children were drawn outside by a strange noise. Hovering above the estate was a flying saucer. Later that night, 2 of the nurses saw a strange, black-suited humanoid looking in the window. Moments later, it was seen again. Some weeks earlier, another nurse had reported what she thought was a peeping Tom. Less than 3 months later, the UFOs returned and more high strangeness occurred. I had a talk with the Greys. In April 1997, a lady was offered to take over a small school in Angel Fire, New Mexico. The previous owner, a Native American man, was having regular encounters with Greys. After the man left, the new owner continued to have encounters. Soon they escalated to a point that she called the old owners back and asked for help. They were able to teach her how to end her encounters. A strange feeling. November 1998, Galax, Virginia. On the night of November 20, 1998, a man stood outside a friend's home in Galax, Virginia, looking at the night sky. Suddenly, an orange glowing craft appeared and moved towards him. He grabbed his rifle to view the craft through the rifle's scope. To his shock, the magnified view showed 2 human-looking males inside the craft. As the craft moved away, it crossed the face of the full moon and promptly disappeared. These 8 humanoid encounters represent a microcosm of extraterrestrial activity across the planet, and yet they represent just the tip of the iceberg. While many cases rest solely on anecdotal eyewitness testimonies, many are supported by corroborating witnesses and various forms of evidence. Perhaps the best evidence is the huge number of cases occurring for decades and coming from people all over the world. There are far too many cases to explain away as anything prosaic. The evidence speaks for itself. We are being visited by extraterrestrials, not of this world. 8 truly weird extraterrestrial encounters.